And we are live with another episode of Comic Talk. It's that show brought to you by The Key where we talk about this week's new comic book releases. I'm your host, Dimithri Perera. For those of you who don't know, New Comic Book Day is Wednesdays. Wednesdays at your local comic shops. Go to comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you. But DC, Marvel, Indies, Image, Boom Studios, all the comics come out on Wednesdays. We're here on a Thursday, September 26, 2024, to talk about everything that we read this week. Now, who is we? I introduced myself, but if you're watching us live on twitch.tv/The Keeg Show or youtube.com/The Keeg Show, you can see who our guests are. But, you know, if you're listening to the podcast, more power to you. You know, like, comment, subscribe, write a review, whatever. But you can't see who our guests are. So let me introduce them. We got Drew, a.k.a. Drew X Deficit, a.k.a. pronounced like Drew Deficit. The X is silent. What's up, Drew?
Not a whole lot. I can tell you what's up. The price of comics.
Have they like, I don't even pay attention. It's like gas for me. So what's the recent shift?
I mean, I've just been noticing that the number of books that I buy that are $5 now.
Yes. I've also somebody brought it up on like Facebook, some Facebook group that I'm on, and I looked up a site that marked comic book prices over the decades, almost a century now, right? And like then adjusted for inflation to see kind of where it is. And it's not that far from the last 30 years.
Yeah.
But at a certain point, it did jump from cents to like $2.
Yeah.
There was a huge jump like at a certain point, which then catapulted everything. But that didn't happen. I looked it up. It was like 70s or 80s that like the big jump. No. 80s to 90s. That was the big jump. You know? And so either way, I mean, we can complain, but also fucking inflation. Am I right?
Right, and we're still gonna buy it, unfortunately. But I'm still gonna bitch about it.
It's gas. I mean, gas gets expensive. I hate it, but also, it's in my budget. It is. You know, I'll eat more Hot Pockets to keep up with.
Right.
You know, save money.
To supplement my habit. You know.
Who's that voice? Well, you know. If you could see him, you could see him. But we got Aaron, a.k.a. King Krakoa, a.k.a. The King Krakoa, depending on your social media platform.
Where you go, you
What's
know.
Up, Aaron?
It's going, life is lifing, and I am currently in a tropical storm, hence my lateness as well. So, but I'm not gonna lie, this storm usually, and I'm from Florida. Like I don't really like see storms as we have hurricane parties, like. But this storm, yeah, it's got a little ass on it. It's got a little ass on it. It's well, we're gonna see how it goes. We're all safe here, so that's all that matters.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Yeah, the goal is be safe, right? But also, let's talk comics, right? And don't get your comics wet.
I mean, never. They're my babies. They go under the shirt, and they just, I'm running to the car for sure.
Yeah. Frequent guest on the show, Ambrosia. Ambrosia's basement flooded for a good amount of time, and so she wasn't able to come on Comic Talk. It was about a year ago, but she said her comics stayed dry, and so it's like, if that isn't proof that the universe wants you to read comics,
okay,
I don't know what is.
Thank the old gods in the new. What?
Yeah. Jack Kirby is smiling from above, protecting us.
Protecting us all.
He is God in Fantastic Four.
He is.
Jack Kirby's God in Fantastic Four, and he came up with the new gods and the old gods and the
I'm about to say
and the medium gods,
right?
But R.I.P. Jack Kirby. I would say punch a Nazi in heaven, but Nazis aren't in heaven,
right?
We're touching economics today. We're touching sociology, sociopolitical topics.
This is why I come on this show.
How derailed can we get? All right, we got to talk about comics because we're gonna run out of time, and I know you guys are gonna talk your asses off, and I'm going to also talk my ass off. So let's get to it. Drew, what did you read this week?
I read Uncanny X-Men #3, Ultimate Spider-Man #9, Green Arrow 16, Detective 1089.
Mhm.
I read Batman: The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween #1, Action Comics #1069, nice. Saga 69, also nice, and Self-Help #4.
All right.
Nice.
It's funny that Saga is issue 69, especially with that cover.
The cover, yes.
So if
Iconic.
you get to the end of the issue, you can buy that cover as a shirt.
Oh,
I want it. I don't even read it, and I want it.
What's funny is Action Comics 1069 doesn't have Superman 69ing anyone on the cover.
It does. I mean, not on the standard cover. There's probably a variant cover out there somewhere.
There's some innuendo somewhere covered.
No,
just
I don't know with this issue. I didn't read this issue, but I don't feel like this issue would have been the.
No, this is a particularly wholesome issue, actually.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, it really was. And like, let's be real. If Batman can't go down under, they're definitely not doing anything with Superman.
Yeah, that's true. That was so dumb. That was so dumb when
right
when DC editorial said that Batman doesn't go down on Catwoman. Everybody got upset.
To be fair, I don't think that it was DC editorial who said that. I think that it was Warner Brothers who said that.
Okay, fair. Let's aim our arrows higher. I get it.
But secondly, I got a lot of thoughts about this.
Though,
I got a lot of thoughts. Person to do that. He is also, I think that he would be the type of person to like read a book about how to do it before ever doing it.
Yeah,
read a book. Bruce Wayne traveled the world. He probably trained under a sensei to learn these crafts.
Like,
what?
Honestly,
you think Batman needs to open a book?
Yeah.
I mean,
he's getting hands-on.
He's methodical.
He's getting hands-on training.
14-year-old Bruce Wayne, like reading a book,
Oh, for sure, he's reading books on cunnilingus. He's totes my goats reading that. Like, and let's be honest. Like, I feel like even if he didn't, I feel like for Catwoman that would be mandatory. Like, she would make him do that. Like, if anyone's gonna do it,
I think it's a lesson. It's a lesson for all parties involved. Is that if you ask for something that you want and your partner says "ew, gross," then maybe that's not the partner for you.
Right.
Maybe
reciprocation is key.
It warrants a talk.
Exactly, a conversation.
If it really means that much to you, you should have it.
Right. And we got derailed again, and that
we got derailed again. I'm also trying to load up these pictures, but Aaron, give me your list of the books that you read this week.
Sir, yes, sir. So this week I read X-Force #3, Uncanny X-Men #3, Action Comics 1069. Is it? I mean 1049.
Action Comics 1069.
1069. Titans 15, Avengers Annual. I didn't get to read Zatanna, unfortunately, but NYX #3, Phoenix #3, Lobo Cancellation, Namor #3, and Anansi Boys #4.
Okay, so I mean, pretty much, almost all the books that you said you were going to read.
Yeah, like it was pretty much all of them. Like, and even with the ones I didn't get to read, I glanced and I couldn't. It was one that I just couldn't. I forgot which one it was.
Yeah,
Power Girl, I think. No, because Power Girl was pretty good. I just didn't get to finish it.
Mm. For people out there that don't know how the sausage is made, I ask Drew and Aaron and any guest that we have, I ask them what books do they plan on reading this week, and tentative picks of the week. And so sometimes that all changes because
Yeah,
we're live, baby. That's live TV for you.
right. Right, and look, I was saying, life happens, and I couldn't sneak in my books in between work, so we work with what we got.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there was things on my list that I didn't get to, and that is okay.
you know,
Let me. I mean, I gotta actually pull my list up, but um, I read Ultimate Spider-Man 9, Amazing Spider-Man 58, Uncanny X-Men 3, Green Arrow 16, Titans 15, Avengers Annual, um, Wolverine Revenge number 2. I didn't get to finish X-Force 3, but I did read NYX 3, Batman The Long Halloween, The Last Halloween number 1, Phoenix number 3. Uh, there were some others. I'm looking at leagueofcomicgeeks.com and going through the Nightclub 2 number 2 and uh the Magic Order 5 number 1. Yeah.
I wanted to read that one. I was so upset that I didn't get to find that one.
Which one?
The Magic Order 5.
Yeah. I like people talk shit about Mark Miller. I like his work for the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, yeah, I do actually like some for his work,
Yeah.
and I like for some reason, Magic comics hit very much harder and different in indie comics.
Mm. I like contemporary magic, and I think that's why
Yeah.
I like it. I like Harry Potter. I like the
hmm
Magic Order. I like, instead of like swords and sorcery magic, I don't need to see Merlin. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel that definitely. Like, but I like to see like yeah, contemporary magic and like see like them actually work on like spells and stuff. Like that's the kind of like stuff I like to see. Like, and yeah, the indie people they take their time with like the actual work that goes in it, the lore, and I'm a big person on witch lore. I
Mm.
don't know what it is. Like I very much have like if it has anything with magic in it, I'm gonna watch it.
All right. So wait, the librarians? That was a thing, right?
That was a moment in time, and yeah, I watched it for a little bit. I did watch it for like 3 seasons, and then it like stopped, and then I forgot, and then I kept saying I'm going to do it one day, but it never came. But the magicians, oh, all day.
The magicians or librarians. What was it called?
Magician, they're both of them, but the magicians is the one I think you're talking about,
Okay.
and the magicians is the best show in the world, the
Okay.
best magic show.
Let's get to our picks of the week because
Yes.
we're eventually going to run out of time. Um, uh, Drew, do you want to go first?
Sure. So my pick of the week is self-help number 4, which is it's an Image comic. It's by the writing team of Jesse Kellerman and Owen King, and the art is by an Italian artist named Mariana Ignazzi. She is I'm gonna do this thing. Ready for this? She is the artist. This was announced, so I get to talk about it now. She is the artist on the short story that I did in an upcoming DC book. So I got turned on to her earlier this year, and I've been really excited about the stuff that she's been doing.
So
So
is this a Keeg exclusive? Are we getting a Comic Talk exclusive brought
you
to you by
might
the
be.
Keeg?
You might be.
Hey,
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the first time I've talked about it, but
I
yeah.
mean, tell
So
us what's going on.
well, I have a story in the upcoming DC anthology
nice.
for holiday season this year, and I'm really excited about it. That's all
Hell
I can say.
yeah.
That's literally all I can say.
Okay. Are
Look,
you?
congratulations, man.
Yeah.
Thank you.
First, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second, are you going to kill Superman again?
My story is definitely about murdering Superman in cold blood.
That's all
Uh,
we need.
we thought it would just be a very cheery holiday story
Yeah,
Right.
it's,
to
get
put
the
him
get the get the
put him
family
through the
together.
ringer.
Yeah, just bring the family together. With a good death. Who
I
doesn't want that?
I will say that the story that I did do does have at least one grisly murder in it that DC like we Mariana did the art and then like it got all the way to the inking or to the lettering stage
Uh
and they were just like we might need to tone this down.
huh. You were
It also
This
happens to
is
be
a
my favorite page
red band.
in the whole story.
you were too edgy. That's what
Right.
It was all her, it wasn't me.
Mm, okay. All right.
But
Um,
self-help.
let's talk about this. Yes, self help.
So self-help is a really cool like crime story. It is about a kind of shady dude who happens to look exactly like this like those like alpha male self-help bros who like sell themselves and their personality to like insecure guys online.
Okay.
Um and they cross paths, and through a series of events that I won't spoil, this main character, this shady dude, basically takes his place. And every issue, we are finding out more and more about like how shady of a guy he was, um, because of like his past and what led him to this point. So he like did a stint in prison, and he was in prison because he was working for like um he got caught like running for like a Nazi gang,
Okay.
and he's like now trying to get money because he's posing as this guy, and it's been a really interesting little crime story.
Okay.
There are now complications in it because apparently he had a family and now his family is involved. It is uh there's a comical tone to it, but
Mm-hmm.
it's not just a straight up comedy. It really feels like maybe like a Shane Black kind of movie.
Okay.
Like it's like it is a crime story first and foremost, but there's a little bit of like a funny side to it.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I've been liking it a lot.
Okay.
I like that.
All right. I'm glad that it was good. It has
Okay.
to. I mean, it has to be good. The amount of comics that you, me, Aaron, we all read, like the pick of the week matters, right?
Yeah.
So,
Right.
like, all
Right.
I
awesome, awesome.
I'm glad I picked that one too because one of you from what if I'm if the graphic that you use to promote this is accurate, one
Mhm.
of you picked what would have been my other pick if this one hadn't come out.
Yeah. Well, we shall
Is
see
that
who.
me?
It might.
That's it. How's that for a transition?
Yeah.
All right.
In that
Speaking of
case,
which,
I'm gonna say what I think. What I think you're talking about. My pick of the week is Batman: The Long Halloween, the last Halloween #1.
That
Is
was
that
it.
it?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
Okay. So who here read it?
I did.
I did. Aaron, did you?
no,
It's okay. It's okay.
not a
But
Batman guy.
I would. Okay. I think when it comes to Batman, I think there are like some really solid, iconic stories, and The
Oh, for sure.
Long Halloween is one of them. But my own personal journey with this story, because this is the third mini series in the series, right? It's like a trilogy.
Ooh, it's. I mean, if you really want to count everything, then it's more like number five.
What are the other two things?
There's Long Halloween.
Yeah,
There's Dark Victory.
yeah,
There's Haunted Night, which is
yeah.
technically before Long Halloween. There's When in Rome, the Catwoman book.
Okay.
There's the Long Halloween like special that is technically a sequel, and then there's this one. So I guess this is like number 6.
Okay. Well, that's like for simplicity's sake, this is the trilogy. That's what they're marketing this as. I do have Haunted Night and I do have When in Rome. I haven't read the last Halloween special, but this is issue 1. My personal experience is when I was a kid, I read Dark Victory from the library first. And Dark Victory is the sequel, so I read Dark Victory first, then I went back, read Long Halloween. I'm in love with both. So the fact that they're doing a 3rd series, and after the unfortunate passing of Tim Sale, right? So they have a new artist, so it's still written by Jeff Loeb, who, people have different opinions about. I think if you're a writer for decades, people have opinions about you, right?
Yeah.
Like, and it's a spectrum of opinions, right?
Yeah.
For sure.
I feel like, nobody's untouchable when it comes to if you've been writing for decades. If you had one hit book, maybe everybody agrees that you're the best thing since sliced bread. But like, Jeff Loeb has had ups and downs, at least in my eyes. But his ups have been up. Like writing,
his ups are way up.
Yeah, writing the most iconic Batman story ever told in Long Halloween. Like for me personally, like that's accolades itself. But Tim Sale has unfortunately passed away. But they're using Tim Sale art for the covers, and Eduardo Riso is doing the internal art, and the art is a little bit different than Sale
for just this issue.
Oh, really? Are they changing?
It's a different artist every issue,
and it's a 10-issue series.
Yeah, so it's a different artist every issue, which a lot of them I'm really excited about. Chris Samnee is doing an issue.
Interesting.
I love Chris Samnee's work. I love Eduardo Riso's work a lot, and it makes sense to me that he would do this because his style is pretty similar to Tim Sale.
Yeah. But distinctly different, of course.
Yeah.
But also similar in tone. Like I think like I wouldn't want Alex Ross to paint an issue of this. I don't know if he's slated to. I'm just saying that like Tim Sale's work is very stylized and very like not even cartoonish. I don't want to say cartoonish.
No, it's his art is pop art combined with like watercolor and noir.
Yeah.
Like,
the noir is very heavy.
Like that's the way to, which is why Riso's work works so well with this story, because it's like Eduardo Riso like cut his teeth on doing crime noir books. He did. I mean, the big one is 100 Bullets,
that
which
makes sense, yeah.
I think 100 Bullets is one of the greatest crime stories ever told. Like regardless of medium, it's incredible, and because of that, I mean, I will follow anything that Eduardo Riso does art in.
Yeah. This book's really good. I'll move on past this just for the sake of time, but that like the story in it is intriguing. Like there's a couple of different mysteries going on at once, and you have Dick Grayson, a little bit older, but still Robin, because it's probably the next year or 2 years later. Like Catwoman's back in town. Mario Falcone is the last remaining Falcone. Two-Face is on the run. There's a lot going on. And what's really cool though is that like the Penguin series on HBO Max is out right now, and that also revolves around certain Falcones. So you're getting a lot of this like Batman noir stuff, which I'm loving. I don't like realistic Batman as much as I like noir Batman and superhero Batman.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
You know? Because I feel like you can only have two out of the 3. I have yet to see something that is both noir, realistic, and superhero. You know,
Hmm.
I'm trying to
I'm trying to.
think. Anyway,
Right. Now I'm trying to think of something. I'm gonna come back to you.
yeah, maybe I'm just making this up off the top of my head. So I don't know. This isn't the science.
I feel
It's,
like I feel like if you give me some time, I could figure it out. I think there's an argument to be made that Dark Knight is a noir movie.
yes,
Um,
yes, but it's
Hmm.
realistic, and it's not superhero.
I think that it is pretty superhero in at times.
I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
It
That's one of my
It
problems
has
with these.
superhero moments. I agree with you. Yeah, it has a superhero moments. I I feel you when it does just feel like detective guy, but
but
he he
at the
has
same
he
time, I think maybe that you could make the argument that the Batman is way more superhero while still being relatively realistic and a pretty hard turn noir.
Yeah. Oh, it's very noir.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Very noir. We'll
Heavy.
get to that. Let that simmer. Let that simmer. Um, Aaron, what do you got? Pick of the week.
Okay, so um, I did X Force number 3. I I like this one simply because I like that. I love the characters that are in it are getting the shine that they did it. Like we're getting Surge in a comic, which is crazy. Like she's a real deep cut character for
Yeah.
those who don't know. Very very D
Surges
list.
from Academy X, right?
Yes, and she's
So
problematic to say the least
it's
in
funny
that
that
in that comic.
Surge is from Academy X, but also
Hmm.
from the Ultimate X-Men run that was like at the end of the Ultimate Universe, the first Ultimate Universe.
Oh yeah. Oh
Surge is in
crap.
that.
She actually was. Yes.
when
Yes,
when the
she
mutants
was.
have to go on the reservation, right? You remember
Hmm.
that? So
Yep.
they there was like Surge was there, and then in the new Ultimate X-Men stuff, there is Surge as well.
She's still there.
So Surge
Like
is in the new Ultimate X-Men comic, and then also in X-Force. So maybe, I mean,
there's a
yeah,
surge resurgence, I guess, and we
I
just
think
have to accept it.
Surge is a
Pun
speedster, right?
intended. Yeah, she's a speedster and she controls electricity.
Yeah.
So like yeah, the more electricity she stores, the faster she can go. And I was like, that's a
Mm,
that's a cool little caveat to to her power.
yeah.
Uh, and I like that everyone's getting a role. Look here. I'll say this about every smart man in every comic. For some reason, they always feel the need to do something with their brains or create something that they clearly shouldn't have, and then look at the world like, What? What did I do?" Like, yeah, you once again. Forge and Tony Stark are two of the like. I swear I tell everybody this. They are two halves of the same coin, and yeah, like both of them are always liable to create something, and now we're just like getting to see Forge and his genius kind of like go at it. But I like the monologue that's in this story. Yeah, I like this way more than Uncanny X-Men. It was I like the action. I'm here for it. Without getting too details, because I'm trying not to go
No,
too
yeah.
into detail, because
No,
what to talk about X-Men. It's a whole
sometimes we spoil things and sometimes we don't
yeah.
on this show, and like people have to know. But like the cool thing about comics is like there's a new comic every month for every series, and then there's new comics every
Exactly.
week. Whatever.
Yeah.
Here's a question because I didn't get to finish X Force 3.
Hmm.
Do we find out yet who Tank is? Because I got to the part where Tank pulls out those batons and hits Nuclo or whatever, but like, did we figure it out yet or no?
No, no, I don't know. And if they did, I definitely wasn't paying attention.
Okay.
No, they didn't. They
All
didn't know.
right, cool. Because that's a mystery
We're
going on in
still
this
we're still
book.
waiting.
Okay, cool. Let's hop over to
Hmm.
Uncanny X-Men
And
number
I'm
3.
liking the new villains.
Who are the new villains in
Hmm.
X-Force?
Um, the just the Knuckle, the
Nuclo,
whatever his name
right?
is,
Okay, yeah.
and the yeah, Nuclo, yeah, yeah. I'm liking that they're giving them new villains instead of just recycling. I appreciate a new villain from time to time.
Yeah, yeah. I want to hop over to Uncanny X-Men #3 because
Ooh.
although I liked it and it had a good solid start, like with issue #1. Drew, did you read Uncanny X-Men 3?
Yes, I did.
Okay. And Aaron, you did too?
Yeah,
I
I
want
feel
to
the same
open it up
exact
to you guys. My favorite issue was issue 1. And I don't feel like issues 2 and 3 have been like resonating with me as much as issue #1. Is it just me?
I second that. I second that.
I thought that issue 1 started off really strong, and it was really good. And I mean, you and I have been talking here enough for you to know my experience with X-Men.
Yeah.
It's very, very thin. I don't read X-Men at all, but with the new books, I just, with everything starting over at #1, I figured might as well give it a shot.
Yeah.
So yeah, that first one really hooked me. I liked it a lot. I missed issue 2. Have it somewhere, but I didn't read it. So I picked up issue 3 and just read the summary on the front or on the inside cover, and read this issue. And I liked it. It didn't hit me as much as the first issue, but I think that that's what a first issue is supposed to do. So I expected that. I really like that this is like Rogue is the main character a lot, just because like I don't really know that she's ever been the main character of the X-Men book, like the identifying character.
Oh yeah.
There was a small moment she was headlining X-Men Legacy.
Okay.
Yeah,
for a little bit.
But this is like the X-Men type, right?
Right.
And I mean, that's cool for me because like as a non-reader, like I know who Rogue, Gambit, Wolverine, and Nightcrawler are.
Yeah.
Right. And those are like some of the main characters in this issue, but and Jubilee is there. I know Jubilee, like I know who these characters are. So it's easy for me to, I don't feel like I have to do homework to figure out how to read this book.
Right.
But these like newer characters that are brought in, I'm sure they were introduced in 2 and I just missed it.
Yeah.
But this issue was my introduction to them. And so far, I think all of them are pretty cool. There's like the kid who was born with no heart. I think that's a really interesting place to take that story. The one who is really fascinating me is the Japanese kid who is a ghost.
Yeah.
I think that's a cool take on what they're doing here. Yeah, I mean it is I don't know if it's necessarily just because this is all new to me as somebody who doesn't read X-Men, who doesn't read a lot of Marvel either.
Yeah.
Or if it's all just really good, and it's probably a combination of both.
Yeah.
Gail Simone shines when she writes teams and like ensembles.
Yeah.
She just like she does that so well, and that's a really hard thing for writers to do, is to like do an ensemble as well as some people do like a single character story.
Right. I mean, I like this. I'm not saying drop it. I'm just, and the art is always amazing. It's just, I'm waiting for it to pick up.
It's a slow burn.
Yeah, I'm waiting for it to pick up, right?
I feel like most of them are going to be like a slow burn, and then it's something that's going to lead us into some big action, but we just have to be patient with it. And that's what I'm just trying to hold off on.
Yeah. You know the big X event that's coming up? It's called Escape from Graymalkin. So, which is the prison that Xavier's in. So I think one of the X-Men teams is probably going to try to break Xavier out, and the other one's going to try to stop him. That's what I think the premise is. Okay. But it's 2 teams fighting. It's the Uncanny team and it's the regular X-Men team.
Yeah, I saw it's a Mutant Civil War. That's what I saw them premiere and preview, and I was like, no, not right off of Krakoa, but it's what the people want.
I think it's
I
going to be
guess.
smaller in scope. It's not every mutant has to
Yeah,
choose a side. It's not that.
yeah. Hopefully that's
I
not
think
the
it's a
case.
team versus team book. I don't even think it's gonna.
For sure.
I don't think it's gonna leak out into the other books. I think it's just Uncanny versus adjectiveless X-Men.
Yeah, we'll probably get like a little mention of it in exceptional, and then just go
Yeah,
about our day.
yeah, yeah. All right. What else? Are we just dying to talk about? Ultimate Spider-Man.
Hmm. I am
Yeah, I can talk
I
about it.
still haven't finished that.
You have it?
I still haven't
Okay.
started that. I still haven't started it, and I keep hearing amazing things about it. And I just
Mm.
one day I'm just gonna sit down. It's just because Spider-Man's never drew
Yeah.
my eyes, but one day.
This
I'm the
this one's
same
a
way.
10 out of 10.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm the same way. Spider-Man has always been a blind spot for me, and I don't know
Yeah.
why. I've picked up issues here or there. I've tried to jump on, and for some reason,
Mm,
it just never sticks. But this Ultimate is just like Jonathan Hickman is doing such interesting character work that it doesn't matter to me what character it is. It's just like it's a good, interesting story.
Yeah.
okay.
The thing about Spider-Man, it's kind of like the same thing with Batman, is that like it's like asking somebody what's your favorite band, and they say like the Beatles. It's like no disrespect to the Beatles, in fact, to like a lot of respect to the
Where do we go
Beatles,
from here?
but like
It's
is
Right.
it's yeah. It's I have this whole thing about how like I like to make up what kind of music the characters would listen to.
mhm.
And to me, Nightwing is the
I
guy.
do too.
Nightwing likes everything, right? Like that's just like you show him
Yeah.
anything and he'll find a reason to like it, which is to say that like
For sure.
he doesn't have like a particularly distinguishing personality in that like when it comes to that area. Uh,
I'm gonna disagree.
Mhm.
This
I
is a
think that
different
Nightwing,
podcast. This is a different podcast,
but I get what
but
you're saying though, is that like Spider-Man would be Nightwing's favorite superhero.
They would be friends.
yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I
well,
can
for
definitely
sure,
see that.
for sure.
Besties.
I also think though, if you take Dick Grayson growing up in the circus, and if you do what Fanon, not canon, but Fanon of Gotham City does, which is say that like Gotham City has a diverse population. Like Tim Burton is spinning in his grave, being like, Gotham City isn't all white. That's weird. What? Like Tim Burton loves
Madness.
the yeah. He's like, oh no, we like the only non-white person allowed in my Gotham City is Billy D. Williams. That's Tim Burton.
Marlon Wayans was almost there.
Yeah, he was almost there. But
Almost.
but my point being is that like I think Dick. Okay, no, this is a different thing. Maybe we plan another podcast that talks about different musical tastes of different comic characters. I think that might be cool.
For sure. That would be amazing. We'd be
And
doing
we
that
could
all
prep
day.
a
Yeah.
slideshow. Everybody preps a slideshow and
Right.
includes samples of the music. You know?
Everybody gets playlists for their characters, and we're just gonna
Maybe.
play it out like that. Yeah.
Maybe. Okay, let's Ultimate Spider-Man number 9 deals a lot with 4 characters, really. It's in this issue. It is Peter, it's Harry Osborn, it's Dr. Otto Octavius. I'm saying his full name right now because his other name doesn't apply yet. And then there's Black Cat, the senior. So it's Felicia Hardy's father. And it's a really small, concise issue. I don't know. It's tight.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. I'm really one of the things that has me most interested in this series in general is the dynamic between Uncle Ben and J. Jonah Jameson making their own newspaper.
It's kind of cute, right?
It is, yeah. And the beginning of this issue, which is like they're both kind of down in the dumps because they're just like all we can write about is Spider-Man. Like nobody cares about anything else. And MJ kind of has that pep talk where she's just like, yeah, everybody's looking at your paper because you're doing all these stories about this Spider-Man guy, but like
You can
that
use
means
that.
everybody's looking at your paper. You can write whatever you want now.
Yeah. I actually now feel sad because if this is any indicator, J. Jonah Jameson lost out on the best friend he never had in the
In the
regular,
616.
in the 616 universe.
Yeah.
Like
Oh,
Ben Parker dying is more, and that's kind of the sad thing about just like that sort of thing anyway, is that like
I
the rest of Ben Parker's life could have been about making connections with people and whatnot. And so
the my selling point when I get people to like read Ultimate Spider-Man, when I'm like in the comic shop and I'm trying to get people to like buy a book or something like that, like I've just been selling people on the like just how what's the word I'm looking for? Like how upside down it makes Peter's life. Like because there is a certain sadness and tragedy to it when you really pull back the curtain to this version of Peter. Because like he grew up, he's like in his 30s. He grew up, he had kids with like the girl of his dreams, right? And then he gets a box with a hologram of Tony Stark in it that says like, "Hey, when you were 16, you were supposed to become this guy and you never did, and our world is worse for it. So now you don't get a choice in the matter. Bing, now here's a radioactive spider."
hmm
I was just realizing that plot, that premise, has to be something that Jonathan Hickman had for anything. Like he
Yeah.
could have done an indie series. He could have done a thing
Oh,
at
for
Image
sure.
Comics based off of what if you were the world's greatest hero in another timeline and you missed out on it.
Right.
Yeah,
That's such a good
That would be
premise.
a great
but
premise.
also
That is.
like there's a dramatic irony, which I don't know if it's necessarily dramatic irony because we don't know this story,
Yeah.
but like as an audience, we also know that just because we've read enough superhero stuff that being the world's greatest hero isn't what you think it is. Like it
Right.
comes with a lot of baggage. And this whole first 9 issues so far is just giving us a reason to be upset when the baggage hits.
Yeah.
Like we know what's going to happen, or we have an idea what's going to happen eventually to some of these characters.
Because
And
we're
it's like,
feeling it creeping, right? Like we
yeah,
see the Iron
hmm
Spider, this universe's Iron Spider suit that has 4 arms on it, and everybody's talking about like it's only a matter of time until Dr. Otto Octavius takes that suit for his own,
yeah.
or they trick you, and it's a red herring, and that doesn't happen.
I feel like there's gonna be a lot of that. Um, but there are some things that like they're clearly building towards.
Yeah.
The like, I mean, Harry and
Norman.
Peter are
Oh,
friends right now,
yeah.
but they won't always be. And like, I mean, this issue is like showing. There have been a few things throughout the series so far that have shown us that like they fundamentally disagree about some things.
Yeah. I agree with Harry though. Like I was looking through the panels. Basically, Black Cat Senior was going to assume he was going to use that weapon against Peter, and
Sure.
Harry shot him off a building.
But as Peter says, he didn't feel anything. Meaning like
Mm.
he didn't have the spider sense. So the spider sense knew not to warn him because he wasn't in danger.
I mean, what do you? I mean, the amount of damage that Hardy Senior was doing, he like whipped a water tower and like collapsed it, and like sure, maybe he wasn't going to, but I'm just saying that like they were in an active battle.
But also, there is something about Peter's personality, something going on with Peter right now that he can't really trust himself.
Right.
And he doesn't know that yet.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
I also feel like I'd be the type of superhero who'd be a good guy, but I feel like I would get kind of pissed at Peter's like optimism at certain points.
yeah.
Like his naivete, you know?
Yeah.
Not his optimism. I'm eternally optimistic, but like sometimes he sees too much of a good in people. And it's like, dude, you're gonna get someone hurt. You can't keep trusting people. I'm gonna hop off this book to go to a book that I don't think you guys read at all, and then we can hop on to another book. I just want to use this as a stepping stone to Amazing Spider-Man. Amazing Spider-Man. Did I prep this? Anyway, Amazing Spider-Man 59, is that what it was? But basically in Amazing, like everybody's hating on Amazing Spider-Man, and I thought it was a good issue. But it was a very decompressed issue. Most of the basically the premise of this, as Zeb Wells is closing up his run, is that Tombstone is still trying to like stay out of jail, keep his power, and his daughter is getting in the way, right? And so essentially this issue has Tombstone coming to grips with, yeah, I'm just gonna kill my daughter. Like, this is what happens. Like, what are you gonna do about it? Like,
right. What are you gonna do?
and so like you guys aren't reading this, right? I thought this was good. I thought this issue was good, and like Peter is eternally like, no, like he's just trying to talk Tombstone down from like killing his own daughter, but you know, what are you gonna do? I don't know. I thought it was a good issue. And Zeb Wells' final issue, I think, is the next one.
Have they announced who's taking over after he finishes?
They have, but I forget who it is. If anyone wants to look it up. This is Amazing Spider-Man 58, so there's actually 2 issues after this. So it ends with 60. Anyway, I want to hop off. I'll hop off that. With our limited time, we got like 10 minutes left.
Gotcha.
Let's hop to some of the other things that we need to get through. And quick thoughts.
I got you. There's I like the Phoenix story. The Phoenix the storyline where it's not revolved around, just being with Scott or whatever. It's her finally like just accepting and honing her own power and just being like going out in space and just doing goddess mode stuff. And like I appreciate that. I like that. I'm starting to realize that every one of the X-Men books, they're starting to go back to like the original recipe stuff, like where they have like a child as as their point of view character, or like really kind of show it. Because like even with the other books and with this one, like how we have the alien girl Adani, whose father died in the book. Like we kind of like see her help her and try to get her own vengeance or sense of justice. And it's also fun because we get to see her and Corsair interact more, which is, anytime we get to see Corsair do something stupid, I actually like Corsair when he's just being, a philandering, pirate.
Yeah, he's a pirate. What if your dad that you thought was dead was actually a pirate in outer space? It is.
And having sex with this crazy cat lady.
Yeah. Hepzibah. All right.
We love Hepzibah.
Yeah. So that's Phoenix number 3. Drew, are you liking Green Arrow 16? Are you liking Green Arrow at all? I don't know why he did a heel turn. That's just
There's it's clearly going to be revealed in Absolute Power 4. There's more to it than just like, oh, I think, like, oh, I'm trying to protect my family. There's more to it than that.
Yeah.
But I think I'm gonna be honest with you. I think that uh Green Arrow, the series, has been one of the ones hit the hardest by Absolute Power.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
I liked what it was doing. And now it kind of just feels like they put a stop to that. And I'm not as excited about this Green Arrow story.
I think if there's anything, I don't want to be one of those fans that screams this, but I think it applies here. Character assassination. I think this is the closest to it. Like I'm okay. It better explain it really well why he did the heel turn.
That phrase is nails on a chalkboard.
I'm sorry. What should I say? It's a literary hit job.
That sounds better, but the reason I don't want to harp on it too much. The reason I don't like character assassination is because I think that it's like something that just like some dorks made up because they heard it somewhere, because character assassination is a real thing.
Oh, in real life. Yeah.
In real life, like,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Like, it's like a legal thing.
Yeah.
And then some people were like, no, that applies to this too.
We're
and
talking
it's
about
like,
slander and libel as it applies to, like, is that what character assassination is in real life?
character assassination in real life is just like where you not necessarily slander or libel, but it's just like where you do everything you can to make somebody look so bad that nobody can support them.
Okay, fair.
And in comics, people say character assassination because the fictional character did a thing I don't like.
Right.
And like it bothers me so much.
I don't use it. I'm just
I know.
I just think the payoff better be good, and I don't know whether it can be.
I honestly I don't think that it will be.
But I trust Mark Waid. Did Mark Waid make the decision? Like, why is this? It has to have a reason. There has to be a reason.
There's definitely a reason. There is a reason. And I'm sure that, the fallout to Absolute Power will really be what's exploring it more.
Yeah.
I'm just like, I'm not like hating it. I don't hate it. It's just like, it's just there to me. Like,
it doesn't make any sense.
It just feels like a thing that's getting us to another thing. And I think
Roy Harper working with Waller makes more sense to me than Oliver Queen. Oliver Queen betraying everybody does not make any sense to me, because Oliver Queen is the type to get betrayed.
Yeah.
But not to turn fascist.
I that's what I'm saying. Like, there's a reason for it. I don't know that it's going to be a great explanation, but like, there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
Joshua Williamson is certainly a capable writer, so it's not like he's just like wall. There is a reason for it. It's going to be explored in Absolute Power 4. It'll be explored more in the fallout to Absolute Power in like Green Arrow 17. And maybe in retrospect, it'll make like these Absolute Power tie-ins more interesting.
Yeah.
But
I've been liking the Absolute Power tie-ins, just not Green Arrow. And
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the Green Arrow, specifically the Green Arrow series. So I don't know. It's cool.
Yeah.
It's telling a story. It mostly is just acting as a spotlight for the rest of the Green Arrow family.
Mm-hmm.
There was a cool moment with Black Canary in this issue. I love Black Canary. So like, anytime I
love Black Canary.
He's so good.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, anytime I get to see her do, anytime, it rips my heart out. Because I thought I was gonna be cool, and my ex-girlfriend, I used to call her Pretty Bird, like Green Arrow does. So anytime he calls her Pretty Bird, I get bummed out about it. And so
I it's funny you say. So I called my I have a it's a recent thing. I have a girlfriend, and I called her Pretty Bird, and she was like, "Pretty Bird, is that a new nickname?" And I'm like, "Oh, you don't get the reference, but that's okay. Maybe it'll be a
I guess I
thing."
still like you.
I sent her a comic panel of like Green Arrow and Black Canary, so she gets the reference now. But like, it is a deep cut because like Green Arrow and Black Canary, they weren't in the Justice League movies. They're not really dating an Arrow in the CW Arrow, so all these like adaptations
Yeah.
don't really get the essence of like Green Arrow and Black Canary, other than actually the Justice League Unlimited episodes where they like team up.
yeah.
But I'm with you, Drew. I'm with you. I get that. All right. For the sake of time, we're gonna hit all these rest of the titles, and you just get one sentence, one very short sentence, to say what you think, and then we move on. All right. So,
So
Titans 15. For me, I liked it.
me too.
All right. It's
Me
very
too. I
Infinity
like it.
Gauntlet with those crown jewels,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's fine.
Yeah. I just want them to just call themselves Justice League and call it a day. I think that's the only issue with them.
Yeah, I think the Titans were underutilized in this period of time where the Justice League wasn't around, and the Justice League is going to come back soon in like a month or two.
Exactly.
So I would
They're,
say
they're
farewell.
this absolute power is forcing their hand. Like it's
Yeah.
literally, I'm like, you guys are just ramping them up to Justice League.
All right, moving on. Avengers Annual. I'm not a big fan of these characters, but I actually kind of liked this issue, and it leads into what's called Infinity Watch #1.
Yeah, I liked it too. I'm starting to appreciate in the last few years. I'm starting to appreciate Thanos and like his storylines. Anytime they try to put him in stuff, so this was a good little book for me.
Yeah. NYX #3. I love the street level young mutant storylines. This issue was interesting, but just not. It was up there, but not my pick of the week.
Right. Yeah, I feel it. Yeah, same.
Yeah.
Same.
Saga 69. Drew, you read that one.
Yeah. It's cool. It very much just feels like an issue that's like getting you from point to point. However, it is doing some interesting stuff with one of my favorite characters from the Saga story, which is the Will. Yeah, it's cool. Right. It just continues to be good. It's Saga is always so good that when it's just really good, it's kind of unremarkable.
Yeah. Okay.
It's a good problem to have.
That's a great problem to have.
Right. Detective Comics 1089. I know Drew also read that one.
Yeah. It's the end of the story. This is like a 2-year-long story at this point. Like it's been a long time, and it feels like it's been a long time. I think that the Ramvi run on Detective has been good, but it's like something you have to read all together. And so pulling the finale out by itself doesn't hit as hard as it would like reading the whole thing from start to finish.
Was this the first, or is the final issue?
This is it. This is the last one. Who takes over Detective? Tom Taylor takes over Detective in October.
So what happens in the meantime with Detective?
Next month is October.
I just okay. I thought we were at the start of summer in my head. In my head, October. I was like, that's October's months from now.
Yep, October is in 4 days.
It's over.
What the? Okay, yeah. So that was literally me processing time. Okay, cool. Great. Action Comics 1069.
As I said earlier, wholesome issue. I thought that it was a good payoff to what started 2 issues ago. The Rainbow Roll backups have been some of my favorite Lois Lane stuff in a long time.
All right. Cool. Um.
Yeah,
Oh, did you read it,
that's
Aaron?
what I did like it. Yeah, I actually liked it. I'm starting to get more into the action comics, but I more so like the Super Family. But no, I did like the even with the villain that he fought, the Daxamite, who ended up being the friend.
All right. I gotta read it. But
Just it's just a cool like golden age
Yeah,
story in a modern lens.
honestly,
That's
yeah,
all it is.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Aaron, you read the Lobo cancellation special?
Yes, I did.
Was it funny,
Um,
satirical? What's up?
Yeah. It kind of just reminded me of like a old recipe, like kind of getting back to the basics with like Lobo.
Mm.
And I think the writer of it writes for Rick and Morty in their comics.
He has,
So
yeah. Kyle Starks. He did the
yes.
Peacemaker. He did the Peacemaker miniseries at Black Label that everybody liked.
Oh,
Tries hard.
okay.
Peacemaker
Yeah,
tries hard.
yeah.
Oh, I did
Nice.
really like
Okay. Yeah,
Interest.
I liked
Okay.
his writing. It's pretty chill. Like I thought they were gonna, fall onto the fall back on the whole I'm the last Zarnian kind of thing, but they kept it light, and I liked it. I appreciated it.
All right. Cool. All right. We'll hit the next couple ones and then we got to get going real quick. Did you read Namor 30 or 3?
Yeah. Yeah, Namor 30, really good. It captured who he was, and I kind of can't wait to see more what they do with him.
Okay. And you didn't read Power Girl 13 or you did?
Only like a little bit. I like her. I like her story. Like they're doing a lot more like character building on Power Girl, and I appreciate that actually.
Yeah, DC is investing in Power Girl. For some
Yeah.
reason, I'm not
Right.
complaining. I'm just
Yeah. At
I think it's
all.
an interesting choice. DC must have plans for her in the future, you
Yeah. In
know?
some capacity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And then Anansi Boys number 4.
Very, very cute. I think it's from the adaptation of the book. But like it is a really good little story. It's a chill little. If you want something to just like read and just enjoy yourself, like I think that's one of the books for you. It's one of those books that starts off kind of playful, but it has like a good little story.
Okay. Very nice. The Magic Order 5 number 1 got me back into the Magic Order again because I've read all the other volumes, and this one has me wanting to buy the first 4 volumes in paperback because I love the Magic Order all the time, and like I think they have a deal with Netflix, so but they've been in talks with Netflix for so long to bring the Magic Order to live action, and it's ripe. It's ripe for that. The beginning of this is really creepy. It's about a lady who always gets her baby kidnapped. Like
What?
15 years later, she has another baby, and that same guy comes back to beat her close to death and steal her new child. It's
Sweet
weird.
Jesus.
It is weird, and I love it. So there's that. Nightclub 2,
Okay.
number 1, a sequel to the 6-issue miniseries Nightclub about a 3 friends who become vampires, and they choose to be like town superheroes with their vampire powers. It's
Huh.
it's the first one's twisted. This one just had its new twist, and
What's it
no,
called?
sorry, Nightclub 2 number 2 is what it is. It's called Nightclub. They wear
Putting that on
luchador masks so that
my.
because they're superheroes, but they also can't have the sunlight touch them. So that's
No.
also
Okay.
a Mark Miller book. All these Mark Miller books have moved to Dark Horse Comics. So, And then last but not least, this one was actually close to being my pick of the week, Wolverine Revenge number 2. And there's no artwork for it, but basically big EMP means the end of the world. Wolverine is tracking down the people who betrayed him. I mean, that's pretty much it. What are you gonna do? But other than
Right.
that, that is pretty much it. And that's pretty much it for the show. I think we covered everything. Thank you guys, both of you guys, so much for coming on the show, taking time out of your day. Before we get going, where can we find you? What do you got coming up? Anything you want to plug? Drew.
You can find me I'm over on TikTok, Drew X Deficit. You find me there. I'm on like every social media with the same name, but I haven't been using it a lot lately. It's been actually kind of nice to just like not use social media. So I don't know. We'll see how that goes. What do I got to plug? December 4th, Batman Smells Robin Laid an Egg comes out from DC Comics. There's a Marv Wolfman Dead Man story in it. There is a story by me and Mariana Ignazi, a few other people as well. I'm really, really excited to finally have that out. I've been working. I first started working on it in January, so like I've been sitting on it this whole time, just not telling anybody. Um, I got new music out. I got two new bands. One of them just put out new music on Tuesday. It's called Good Grief. You can find it on the internet. Then I have another band that hasn't put music out yet, but it will soon. So shows are coming soon. Probably going to be doing some touring around the Midwest at some point. So
Good on you, man. I can only speak for myself, but I'll maybe speak for people out there. Proud of you. Doing a lot of
thanks.
good
Yeah,
stuff.
right?
You know?
Right, doing some awesome
That's
stuff.
crazy. But anyone out there who isn't, staying tuned with your stuff, needs to jump on that. So Drew, thanks so much for coming on.
Hey, thank you.
Aaron, what do you got? What do you got for us?
So nothing coming up, but of course you guys can find me at King Krakoa on TikTok and the King Krakoa on Instagram. I have been taking a break from my social medias, but now I'm feeling more inclined to get back in it, just trying to figure out what I want to what comic related thing or what nerdy thing I'm going to talk about. So, to be continued, content coming soon.
All right. Very nice. Very nice. And if anyone out there wants to follow me personally, you can follow me at This Is Dimitri on like Instagram or some other stuff, to see, what else I'm up to, whether it's podcasts or game shows or trivia or whatnot. Me personally, I am going to be on an LA Comic Con panel on October 6th, Sunday, October 6th at 2:30 p.m. at LA Comic Con for the Podcasting 101 panel. So I will be there,
Nice.
and hopefully, fingers crossed, debuting some stickers that I'm getting made, some new Keeg stickers. So, if you like stickers, maybe come out, and hear me talk. And I'll pass them out there. If you want to follow the Keeg and all the shows and everything that we do, find us on social media at The Keeg Show. TikTok and Instagram are two biggest ones, but we're on Threads, Twitter, Facebook, all that, at The Keeg Show / The Keeg Show. Wherever you get, your social media, we're there, including patreon.com / The Keeg Show, where, you can find a donation tier and subscribe. And I'm also trying to figure out what I want to give to subscribers. So if you guys have ideas on what subscribers would want to get them enticed for Patreon, let me know.
Have you thought about a sandwich?
Give them sandwiches?
Yeah, give them a sandwich.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah,
for sure.
yeah. I've thought about that. Yeah, definitely.
Okay, cool.
Have
Something to think
turkey your
about.
choice.
Yeah. Good thing I've already thought about it.
Just mail somebody a meatball sub.
I would do like a deconstructed sort of thing, Send them a
Classy.
slice of
Classy.
something every week, and they gotta put it together over the month,
You appreciate the sandwich at the end of the week.
Yeah. We gotta get going. So comicshoplocator.com, find a comic shop near you, support your local comic shops, also support your local public libraries. But that's pretty much it. Comic Talk is every Thursday, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Tune in every week. We also got other shows, but find us on social media and whatnot. Follow Drew, follow Aaron. You could follow me if you want, but also follow The Keeg Show. Like, comment, subscribe, write us a review, let us know you're out there. Follow whatever, Twitch, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, SoundCloud, Audible, Amazon Music, all that good stuff. Anyway, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys so much for coming on. Thank you so much for watching. Once again, I am your host, Dimithri Perera, and this has been another episode of Comic Talk for the week of September 26, 2024. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
super fast. Gotta beat the boss and get the loot, cause it's the king.